Hey, Facebook. Hey, YouTube. Hey, Instagram. Okay. So I'm live on all of my platforms right now. I am supposed to be recording content, y'all. I'm supposed to be recording content, but I don't want to. So, because content recording is a lot, like it's a lot of work. So what I figure I would do is go live with you while I work, and you guys are more than welcome to ask any type of homeschooling questions that you want to ask. But if it's your first time joining me, my name is Sean Taylor. I go by the name of Sean, the homeschool guru. And let's see. Uh-oh. Okay, so I'm not live on Instagram. Hey, Becky, thank you so much for joining me. Um, but I am supposed to be doing, supposed to be, I'm supposed to be recording content right now, and I just don't want to. Hey, Marlene. Hey, girl. Hey. Let me see if I can get this to work. Y'all bear with me. In the meantime, I am going to be working, but you are more than welcome to ask me any questions that you want to ask. But y'all come on in here, say, hey, what's up? Let me know that you're here. Let's see if this works. Let's see. It is a Monday, and we've had a really awesome, great day. It started with my boys. We got schoolwork done extremely early. So we were off. So we're done. We finished at about 12 o'clock today. And so I was like, well, I've got content that I have to record. So I was like, let me get ready. Let me do my hair. Let me do my makeup. Let me record this content or whatever. And when I got done, I was like, I don't want to do it. So I figured I would just, what is going on with Instagram? We're having trouble. I'm just going to remove it. Okay. I don't know what's going on. So let's do this. Okay. But if you're coming in, say, hey, what's up? Let me know that you're here. If you've never been with me, listen, my lives are not quiet by any means, any way whatsoever. What I need you to do is I need you to holla at your girl, right? I need you to ask the questions that you want to ask about homeschooling. I need you to do what you need to do, right? To make sure that your journey is successful. And that's not going to happen if you guys don't ask the questions. There is no dumb question. I guarantee that I have answered your question 100 million times already. And guess what? I don't mind answering it again. And so it's okay to ask questions that you think have been asked before. It's completely okay to ask questions that you think are dumb, because they're not dumb. I am 100% sure that there are people out there that have the same questions as you. It's just a matter of somebody asking it or whatever the case may be. So y'all come on in here and let's get these questions asked. Let's see. I am live on TikTok, and I am live on Facebook and Instagram. And YouTube. I'm supposed to be live on Instagram as well, but I am having trouble because life, right? Because life. Let's see. But in the meantime, you guys go ahead and ask whatever questions. I can see the comments on TikTok. I can see the comments on Facebook. I'm just going to do some work. So a typical day, you guys know by now, a typical day with us starts around 9 or 10 o'clock every single day, about that time. So we start about 9 or 10 o'clock today. The kids got right to it. For some reason, they were ready to get done. I'm going to be honest with you. I think a part of them getting done early was because they know that this is our last week before we take our spring break. So we take our spring break next week. We're going to take our spring break. And so they will be off the entire week during that time. And I think that they are excited about that. So they are doing a real diligent job of making sure that they complete their schoolwork when they're supposed to. So today was really easy. We were done within like 3.5 hours. We were completely done with our school day. And so now I'm just working, right? I'm working on my various businesses, trying to keep track of the mayhem, what's going on, right? So y'all come on in, say, hey, what's up? Let me know that you're here. You're more than welcome to ask any question that you may want to ask. I mean, I can start rambling and talking. Y'all know how that goes. I have no problems doing that whatsoever. But if you're just now following me, part of our journey it's been interesting to say the least. And it's been really important for us as homeschoolers to find our tailor-made fit. And so with that being said, it's important for you to realize that just because I do it the way that I do it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the way that you have to do it. Hey, Disney Pixar connection. It doesn't have to be the same way that you do it. What you can do is I tell my clients all the time that the best way to deal with homeschooling more than anything else is you're literally going to take the meat, you're going to eat the meat of it and throw out the bones, right? And so basically what that means is take what you can eat, take what works for you, and take what fits your schedule, what you want to do, your vision for your homeschooling journey, and then spit out the rest. And that literally is how you homeschool. And like you said, Disney, you're absolutely correct. There's no one right way to homeschool. And I don't care what influencers you're following. I don't care if they're secular. I don't care if they are believers, whatever the case may be. What tends to happen is, especially in the followers that are, or the influencers that are believers, we tend to feel like things have to be done a very specific way, and things have to be done in a I keep want to say specific way, but there's more to it, and I'm trying not to be ugly, but we think that it has to be done a very way, and homeschooling is so not that. And you can love the Lord, you can love God, and you can teach homeschool and teach truth and teach love and teach light and teach compassion. You can do all of that while you're homeschooling. And I think one of the biggest problems, and I'm probably this is an issue, is that although I will say it like this, Christian homeschoolers tend to be the most unwelcoming, tend to be the most insecure, tend to be the most, I'm trying to say it in a nice way, but basically uninviting. Let's just put it that way. And so it's because it's like, oh, let's just use Abeka. We use Abeka curriculum. And since you don't use Abeka curriculum, then we can't really help you, or we don't really know how to help you. And this is a broad statement. So I'm not saying this like every single Christian homeschooler is this way. But what I'm saying is my experience with people that homeschool has been very difficult because they aren't very, very welcoming, right? Like, I look different. Okay. My kids look different. And so we got weird things, like we would go places, and it's just so in this day and age, we should all know this is inappropriate, but we would get things like people touching our hair, like, oh, your hair is pretty. Is that your real hair? Like, we would get things that we didn't necessarily need to get when we were coming into that environment. And so what I want you guys to know is that there's no specific, no matter what is said to you, there's no specific way that you're supposed to homeschool. And for instance, like, we are Christians, we are believers. We don't always use Christian curriculum. And that's just me being very honest with you. It was a lot for me. Like, for instance, we use master books. If you follow me for a little bit, we've used a plethora of different and I'm going to come to your comments, guys. I'm not ignoring them. I just want to make sure that I finish my point. But we have used a plethora of different resources, and we decided to kind of venture off on some other resources, and we tried master books. And although I understand where God fits in on history, I understand where God fits in on science, all of that stuff. The issue for me was when I was trying to teach my kids math, and you're teaching a biblical lesson, and my kids are already struggling to understand math. So now you have made a subject that is already difficult for them to understand, and now you have turned it into a Bible lesson on top of what's already difficult to understand. That was an issue for me, okay? And then like even ELA, English Language Arts, that's an issue for one particular child in our family. That's a struggle. And so because that's a struggle, it was difficult for me to bring a curriculum to him that would talk about scripture, and he'd have to tie all of it together and make it make sense. And it did not make sense to him. He was trying to understand the English part of it, right? the grammar. He was trying to understand that, but then he was trying to understand scripture. And so it was very important for us in our house that we separated the two, right? So we can study scripture and we can understand what scripture is, but also let's get this grammar, okay? Like, because I want you to speak in your normal tone, but I also want you to be able to write correctly, do everything that you're supposed to do. Y'all let me know. Put some thumbs up, hearts, or whatever in the comments. Let me know if you understand. The reason why I'm looking back and forth in the cameras, guys, is because on here, I am live on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And then on here, I'm on live on TikTok, okay? So I'm on 2 different cameras, okay? So I'm looking at your things. If you are here, say, hey, what's up? Throw me some hearts. Give me some thumbs up. Let me know that you're here. Hey, Candy. Candy on Facebook says, ain't enough hours in the day, LMAO. Setting and sticking curriculum works best for my person, but woo, at days I feel like I missed something. Yeah, and we all do. Let me be honest with you. So today we finished at 12:30, right? And so then I was going through my brain like, did we forget to do something? Did I not put something on the schedule that was supposed to go on the schedule? But what it boiled down to is 2 things for us. So one thing is that I blocked my kids' phones. So all of my kids, well, my 2 boys have iPhones and my daughter has a Android. And so what I have done is I have blocked off their phones from all of the stuff that they like Instagram, all of that, until schoolwork is done. So that helped us with focus. So that was one thing. And the second thing is because I think this is our last week before we have break. So we have our spring break next week, that the kids were rushing and trying to get it done, make sure they're good. So the sooner they get it done, the better. Okay. So 2 things could have happened. Okay. Natural Hawkins, peace queen. Glad I found you. Your content very important. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Kenny says, okay, platforms. Okay. Let's see what's going on with TikTok. Okay. Steve says there's no right way. That is absolutely correct. One thing that needs to be done is regulations per each state. That's all. Yep, I've seen that too. We are unschooling that are all inclusive in everything and creating. Yeah, even like that. So even that. Okay. So say for instance, we are eclectic, right? When we homeschool our family, the Taylors, we homeschool, we're eclectic. We've got a little bit of traditional. We've got a little bit of kinesthetic. Well, not kinesthetic, but Montessori. A little tiny bit of unschooling. And if you follow me for the while, you know that your girl has control issues, and unschooling was difficult for me to my kids wasn't doing right, y'all. So we couldn't do unschooling. And so for me, it was difficult because I would go into these settings where they used box curriculum and they would be like, oh, you do this, oh, you do that. Like it was real, like there was a negative connotation to what we were doing in our household. It wasn't like, oh, you're homeschooling. You've decided to educate your own kids. You're welcome. Come on in. Let's love on you. Let's help you. Let's make sure you're good. That is the main reason why I created this platform, being very honest with you. It was the main reason I created this platform was because when I transitioned from the traditional school system to homeschooling, there was nobody out there like me that was saying, hey, I know you do things different, and I know that there's a different way to do those things. You're welcome. Come on in. Let me love on you. Let me lead. Let me guide you. Let me do whatever it is that I need to do as far as that's concerned. Y'all hold on, okay? And so there was nobody there to do that for me. So that is the main reason why I created this platform, was because I wanted you guys to have a space to say, Sean, I'm struggling, or Sean, this is the way I do things. Can you help me in the way that I do things? Like, I'm not going to deter you from doing things the way that you want to do it. What I'm going to say to you is, well, hey, have you tried this? This may work. Or, you know what? This is your plan, or this is what you're trying to do. Let's find something that fits your plan. That's what I'm going to say. Okay. Curriculum is to launch. People can take as they need from it. Exactly. I know. Hey, Winter Girl. And oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that's such a microaggression. Never. Okay. Yeah. So I was telling them about people filling on our hair. Like we all have different textures of hair. I have my natural, right? But my hair is more loose, curly. My oldest son has locks. My daughter, hers is natural, but it's tighter curls. And then my youngest son at one point had hair all the way down to his butt, but his hair was like mine. And so we found all the time, and it wasn't the kids that were being different or doing the microaggression type situation. It was the parents that were doing it, right? Oh, your hair's so pretty. Is it your hair? And it's like, I mean, thank you for the compliment. Like, yes, it's mine. Or thank you for the compliment, but please don't touch my hair. And then it became an issue of, oh, she's kind of weird. She's kind of standoffish. I told her hair was nice and kind of reached to touch it. And she said, don't touch my hair. Like, not realizing that that is my personal space, right? And I have the right to say, thank you for the compliment, but please don't touch my hair. Like, it's just insane. It's insane what we go through. Y'all come on in here, say, hey, what's up? Let's see. Hey, girl, hey. Acceleration says, that's my problem right now. Yeah, I get it. Sounds good. My hair is blue. My struggle is getting a schedule. Okay, so getting a schedule. All right, so I see you, Facebook. I see you going off. Let me help this person on TikTok, okay? Let me help you, Acceleration. Okay, so what age are your kids, okay? Tell me what age are your kids, because if you tell me that, then I can tell you as far as a schedule, some things that can help you as far as that's concerned, okay? Let's see. Sonia says, eclectic is a good name for me. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, I mean, I do a little bit of each, right? Like a little bit of, we are very traditional. We do use a curriculum. We don't use a box curriculum. We do have a certain amount of time. We do tend to homeschool about the same way, but there are some different things about us. Candy says, we use blocks on Family Link, Google. Totally understand. Yeah, I need more in-person, face-to-face assistance on improving also. I love it here, though. Well, listen, I'm here, right? On the hair thing. Son has lace front weave, length hair, bundles, baby. I have that natural, and folks want to touch it all the time. Yeah, I don't get it. She said, yeah, don't do that. Hey, Chandra, I'm struggling to keep my third grader enthusiastic about school. She does K-12 curriculum. Any tips or words of encouragement? You're a welcome, Chandra. Chandra, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if it's Chandra or Chandra. I'm going to say Chandra because I'm just going to say that, okay? I like it this close to my name. How about that? What I will say is, first of all, it's difficult to homeschool with a program like Discovery not Discovery K through 12, but K-12 curriculum, okay? It's very difficult to do that. And the reason why it's difficult to do that is because you are basically doing public school at home, right? So you are taking what they're telling you to learn, the timing, all of that stuff, and you're bringing it home. So it's very difficult. What I would say to you is, I would say, in the midst of it, do your best. But if you're ready to move away from that, I would suggest you move away from that, because that's the issue. 9 times out of 10, if you're having an issue with a program like K-12, it literally is the program that you're having the issue with, because all you're doing is the traditional school at home. So basically all you're doing is say, hey, we're going to stay at the house, teach us at the house, right? And so you're still under the same guidelines. You're still under the same criteria, all of that stuff. You're still under that same thing without the actual homeschooling. So to me, that would be something that I would look in is, do I really want to homeschool, right? Like, do I want to do traditional school at home, or do I want to really homeschool? Because they're different. There is a complete difference. Contrary to popular belief, there's a difference between virtual school and K-12 and all that stuff at home and homeschooling. The biggest difference I can give you is that I have complete control over my children and what they learn, right? They don't want to get up and go to school, and they can say, Mama, I'm tired. Can we sleep in for an hour? We can do that. We don't want to learn about certain things. We don't have to learn about certain things because we don't feel like it. So I have complete control over that. Virtual school is basically like you still have to report to somebody teaching you or telling you what you're going to learn. Okay. Let me go back to your question. Your answer, Acceleration. I saw you. Let's see. 2, 5, 1, and 12. My oldest 2 are in the school, yet I want to transition them out but I'm struggling. Okay, so your oldest 2, so your 12 and 5-year-old are still in school, and so the schedule, I'm going to be honest with you, with your 1 and 2-year-old at this point, when they're 1 and 2, think about it when they're young, right? When they're little, their attention span is that long, right? So when they're little, what you want to do is a bunch of short little lessons, right? So you're reading to them lots, right? Talking about letters, working on letters, all that good stuff, but you're doing a lot of short lessons. Let's work on, and you can do unit studies a lot. Now you can do unit studies as you get older. as well. But for me, unit studies work really well with younger kids. I say this example all the time. It's the easiest one that I can think of. So say, for instance, today we're going to, so this is for your younger two babies, or three babies. Well, your younger two babies, right? 1 and 2. Okay. We're going to work on the color red today, right? Okay. Yay, red, R-E-D, right? So then we start working on R, recognizing the letter R, then recognizing the letter E, recognizing the letter D. Then we start going around the house and finding things that are red. Then as they get older, you can say, hey, let's do this. I want you to go into the bedroom. Okay. And I want you to pick your clothes out, right? You're going to be a big girl and you're going to pick all your clothes out, but I want them to be all red. Doesn't matter if they're dark red, bright red, faded red, almost pink red. It doesn't matter, but I want you to go pick out your colors. You pick out your outfit for the day, right? And you're doing a bunch of little short lessons throughout the day. Okay. So, and then also, so that was the reading, right? There was the writing, and then them recognizing the color. And then you could start doing it as math, right? How many letters are in red? Okay. Are there 5 letters in red, or are there 2 letters in red? Let's count them. R is 1, E is 2, D is 3. Like, you can listen, when they're little, there is so much you can do. There's so much you can do, and you don't have to put a lot of effort into it when they're little, because they're little, right? Like, they just, let's have fun. Let's go. They're excited to go. Okay. Let me know if that helped, acceleration. Now, when you get ready to move your 5 and 12 out, listen, I'm going to tell y'all, this is the biggest thing. Okay. Biggest thing for me. I was scared to homeschool. So I hear you. This is the best advice that I can give you. Okay. If you researched it, if you've prayed about it, whatever, you've meditated, and you believe that homeschooling is the right decision for you and your family, then do it scared. Okay. Do it scared. I did. And we're succeeding, y'all. I did. And I have a kid in dual enrollment right now. I do it scared every day. Am I teaching enough? Am I doing enough? What about this? What about that? What's going to happen if this doesn't happen? Oh my gosh. Like, I do it every day. Do it scared. You can do it. And guess what? If you mess up, say, for instance, I told y'all the story about my daughter. We had a plan. The plan changed. Part of the plan was not taking the SAT or the ACT. I should have been having her do it, and I didn't. I didn't have her do it because it wasn't a part of the plan. Okay. It wasn't a part of the plan. So here I am, senior year, panicking because now the plan has changed. Like, holy crap. Holy crap. What am I going to do? She hasn't taken the ACT. She hasn't taken the SAT. What the heck am I going to do? Even in that big screw up, we were able to go back, fix what we needed to fix, and do what we needed to do. Like, all of that was still done. Okay. All of it was done. All of it was done. So even if you mess up in the moment, it's okay to go back or reevaluate or do whatever it is that you need to do to make sure it happens. Okay. Acceleration, do it scared. I do it scared every day. No joke. Not even lying to you. Okay. All right, Facebook, here I come. Facebook, y'all popping on here with these comments. Let's see. Hey, Kelly. Yes, I stepped out on faith. Here's somebody else. Yes, I stepped out on faith. I'm like, I have some college and I know my child and what his interests are. So it was best to go with the subjects he enjoys. Yes, 3 sons, 2 with locks and grown. I've been growing mine since 1994 and I still get, oh, can I touch it? I didn't know Black women can grow their hair that long. Shaking my head. This is in corporate America. Exactly. Like silly stuff. Like, y'all, listen. Okay. Listen. Natural Hawkins says, I love out school classes. We haven't gotten a curriculum program though. I want control of what he learns. Yeah, out school is absolutely amazing. So say, for instance, you have a class that you want them to learn that you can't necessarily teach, or say, for instance, you're working a full-time job and you need to do some outside stuff. Outschool.com is a great option as far as that's concerned. Okay. And if you can find anyone that's teaching classes, has pods or anything like that, that's a great option. Right now, you guys see me doing a bunch of posts about homeschool Spanish. Your girl doesn't speak Spanish. Your girl took Japanese in Nihongo in high school, right? That's what I took. I took Japanese. And I never quite wanted to learn Spanish, to be very honest with you. But I do understand the day and the age that we are in. And I do understand the goals that my boys have. And so it's going to be great for them to have Spanish as a second language. Okay. So now we're doing Spanish as a second language. Your girl can't teach that. I can't even read it. I don't know the vowel sounds and all that. Like, I don't. I never learned it. So one of the things that we're doing is homeschool Spanish. Okay. So we're doing homeschool Spanish at home. I find phrases for the week that I want to work with them. Y'all saw me. I did. And there's more now, right? I'm going to say it wrong. So y'all don't judge me, okay? Like the new one is, I'm going to say it wrong. I'm going to say it real Texas, okay? So leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Preguntale a tu papá is the new phrase for the week. Do you know what that means? That means go ask your daddy. So that's why we'll be doing that, right? And then like chores, get your chores done, make the grocery list, go clean the bathroom, please. So those are the type of things that we are doing to incorporate that. But you guys have those options as well. It's not just out there to me, it's out there to you as well. Chandra says, makes sense. And that's exactly it. I am currently in school myself, also at TCC. Thank you so much. Okay. So you've got a lot on your plate. So I'm going to be honest with you. It is probably the curriculum. And I don't know how long you want to stay with K-12, Chandra, to be honest with you. I keep saying it different. Chandra, correct me. Write it phonetically for me so I can say your name correctly, please. I don't want to disrespect you in any kind of way. But if it may be time to change the curriculum and look into something else as far as that's concerned. Okay. What history curriculum do you suggest? Okay, so your girl is not a big history curriculum person. And thanks for that question, William Steed. For us, we do like living books for history. We don't do curriculums. And the reason why is, if you've been following me, then you know how I feel about history. I don't want to know history from the standpoint of the victor, okay? I don't want to know world history from the standpoint of one victor. I want to know the good. I want to know the bad. I want to know the ugly. I want to know why it happened. I want to know how they felt when it happened. I want to know what happened in the end. I want to know what happened to the people who won in the end. I want to know what they lost in the end. I want to know what happened to the people who won in the end. And I want to know what they gained in the end. Like, I want to know the history of it all. Like, I did a podcast interview last week. And one of the things I was talking about was like, I've lived in Texas for now, I think this is year 22, going on year 23, going on year 23. Now, I'm originally from here. I'm born here. And then when I was in second grade, I moved up to a small town outside of Seattle. And so then I went to school and graduated high school there. And then as soon as I graduated, I came back down here, and I have been down here ever since. And I love Texas, right? Like, Texas is my home. It always has been my home. Like, I was like, I'm going home. Like, that never changed for me. But one of the things that I heard for the very first time researching history for us in our family was learning about Black Indians. Like, I didn't know that Black Indians existed. Like, I knew, you know how when you little people say, I got Indian in my family. I got Indian in my family. Look at my hair, right? Like, I know about that kind of stuff, but I didn't know about Indians and their beliefs. And like, I did Native Americans, like, should I say, I'm saying it incorrectly, but I didn't know about that. I didn't know how Oklahoma got that little sliver right there up there on the left, right above Texas. I didn't know how all that happened. Y'all, when we did the research and I found out why Oklahoma has that little sliver of land right there, because Texas was tripping. Basically, it was like a line drawn. Anyone underneath this line can participate in slavery. Anyone above this line could participate in slavery. So Texas gave Oklahoma that little sliver of land so that Texas could continue to participate in slavery. That's the type of information I need to know. Like, that's what I need to know. That's what I do in history. That's what we do. Right now we're walking, the boys wanted to walk through the wars. So we are walking through the wars of the United States. We're at the very beginning. We're doing the American Revolutionary War. We're finding out why it happened. what was going on, what they believe. Like we're doing our own research, all of that good stuff. And then we'll move on to the next war once we finish that. It takes us about 6 weeks to study stuff like that. So I don't have a history curriculum that I can give to you because I don't do history curriculum at all, period. I don't care if it's produced by, and this is going to sound real ugly. I do, like, even with Black urban intellectuals, even with them, I like their curriculum. I like their flashcards. I like all of that stuff. But even that is bias. And so I just want to do my research. Give me the information. That's it. That's it. Little read books, draw, color, crafts, and science. Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Little children, that is. Oh, okay. Right, refrigerator, television, etc. Index cards, tape it on them. They learn the words and can recognize them. Yeah, so Natural is giving you a bunch of options, acceleration for your 1 to 3 year old, right? So she's saying write stuff on the refrigerator, the television, etc. Index cards. You can turn it into a science project by making Play-Doh. You can draw, you can color, reading the books. Okay, so she's giving you different options that you can do. 3rd grade and up is when you get into core subjects. Yeah, 3rd grade and up is when you start really focusing on the core subjects. And like I tell everyone, the way that the school system is set up now, and it's kind of I don't want to say like it's a maybe a shell or maybe an outline for us to use as homeschoolers, but basically all the way up from 1st grade all the way to 6th grade, you're pretty much doing the same math, the same science, all of that. It's just a deeper level of it as you get older, right? And then as you get to 7th and 8th grade, you're basically reviewing everything that you had from 1st to 6th grade to make sure that you're good for high school. Is how I believe that's supposed to work. Now, I have not 100% proven it, but just homeschooling my kids through the different stages, it's like we're doing the same work over and over again. It's just maybe a level higher or a little bit more detailed, but we're literally doing the same thing over and over again. Natural says, step out your comfort zone. I don't like how schools teach one math technique Monday, then move to a new one the next week and not seeing if the child grasp the first steps. So they get frustrated. Yeah, and that's a good thing. So for us right now, we have been Learn Math Fast family forever. We've always done Learn Math Fast until this year. The kids wanted something to teach them instead of them having to read it. So this year we did teaching textbooks, which does a video lesson for them. Then it does some practice questions during the video lesson, and then the practice questions, and then a worksheet, like a digital worksheet. And so we have done that this year. The best part about that is, of course, them being taught. But another thing about that has been absolutely amazing for us is that they have their lessons for the week, but every Monday we sit together one-on-one and we go back over their work, over the things that they missed. Okay. So say my son over the last week, he had 4 assignments, right? Tuesday through Friday, because on Mondays we review whatever he missed. So Tuesday through Friday, we'll go back on Monday. So like today we sat together, just him and I, and we went through all of the questions that he got wrong. We did them together. We worked together. If there was notes that we needed to make, we made notes for him to use. We use OneNote for our notes in our family for math, because like I said, they basically are doing the same level math. They have the basic steps. We just need to have the basic steps written down. So we use OneNote, and they're able to open it up while they're doing their math lesson on the computer and look at OneNote and follow the steps as far as that's concerned. So that's a really good thing that is good about homeschooling, is that those things that they don't understand, you can go back and you can make sure they're good. My oldest speaks, reads, and writes Japanese. He took it all throughout high school. Yeah, y'all, Japanese is dope. Not gonna lie to you, it's dope. Yeah, yes, my 11-year-old makes our grocery list. OutSchool has been amazing, has amazing history topics you can choose from. Some are one day, others are longer. They have everything: guitar lessons, ballet, art, STEM, human anatomy. Yes, outschool.com. If you have not joined outschool.com or looked at it, it was too much for me. It was overstimulating for me because there was so much information. But literally anything that you can think about as far as a course or a class or anything like that is on outschool.com. And so say, for instance, Chandra, or almost until you write it phonetically, just tell me how to say it, okay? Chandra, until you, if that's an option for you. So say, for instance, you are currently trying to get out of that K-12. K-12 may be a way to do that is by doing out school, is using those courses to help you teach in the meantime, as far as that's concerned. Go Dallas Cowboys, right? Go Cowboys. Yes, Netflix had a show, How the States Got Their Shape. Very good show. Not sure if it's, oh, really? Exactly. Us, 2 wars in geography, grab stuff from the library. It's a lot of resources out now that I can get. Exactly. Exactly. You're absolutely correct. Okay. You're welcome, Acceleration. I hope that helped. Let's see. I'm so scared. My husband and I both are nurses, and our kindergarten child is behind, and I hate it. I hate to. Okay, so listen. Let's talk about. Let's talk about being behind. Can we talk about that, y'all? Let's talk about that. Okay. So we're gonna have a mommy moment. I'm gonna calm myself down. Okay. Because I'm loud sometimes, I know. And I'm like, I'm going to calm myself down. But what I will say, if you are a mom and you feel like your child is behind, like, oh, I don't want to pull them out because they're going to be behind, or, oh my goodness, my child is behind. Like, what am I going to do? Let's have a moment here. Let's talk about that. Okay. The fact of the matter is that we all know that we are not created the same, right? I don't learn how you learn. You don't speak how I speak. You don't understand what I understand. You may have a different understanding, or it may take you a different way to get to that understanding, but we all know that we are not created the same, okay? So basically, some suits, I'm gonna call them suits, okay? Some suits came together and said, in 4th grade, all of these kids should be at this level. They should learn this way. They should know this information, right? They say that, right? But they're not taking the time to make sure, well, they know for a fact that not everyone learns the same way, but they're not making sure that the kids all understand it, B, okay? And then they're not understanding that, they're not making sure that they have grasped the information to even move on or move forward to the next subject. So if you have a child, for instance, let's just say, for instance, that struggled with addition in 2nd grade, but never got what they needed, okay, to make it happen, never got what they needed to make it happen. And then they go to 4th grade and they're going to higher level addition, or there's multiple steps to it. Then guess what? They're going to fall behind because they never got the basics of addition, right? Never got the basics of that. I'm saying all of this to say there is no behind. There is no such thing. Let me look up here at y'all. There is no behind. There is absolutely no such thing. Here's what you do in homeschooling. You find out where your child is, okay? Whatever level. If it's math, history, science, you find out where they are. And then you work diligently to build where they are, build from where they are. Okay. So it's, say for instance, if your child's problem is addition, basic addition, before you move on to the next addition, then you make sure they've got the basic addition, right? So before you move on to 2-3-digit addition, and I'm only using addition as an example, but before you move on to 2-3-4-digit addition, or before you move on to multiplication, you stay at 1-digit addition until they understand that and you move on. I know, y'all, listen, and that was a concept that blew my mind when I started homeschooling, right? Like, I'm sitting here thinking, going, oh, my child is behind. My child is behind. My child is behind because the school system didn't have enough time to get him where he needed to be. They had 20 plus students in the class, and they can't stop with each child and make sure they are where they're supposed to be. They can kind of throw it out there and hope it hits whomever it hits, right? And then move right on along. And that's the honest to God truth. So there's no behind. We're all scared. Do it scared. Okay. You got this. There's no behind. Your child is where your child is supposed to be at this moment. You're going to figure that out, and then you're just going to stack up on it. Okay. Baby, listen, the teacher says you don't know how to add. That's okay. We finna learn how to add. If it takes us 3 months, we finna get this. Like, we finna do the darn thing. Okay. Yep. Someone said, or Natural says, your baby is not behind there telling you that. Just read and do fun games. Sneaky Squirrel is a great game and helps with fine motor skills. My son on the spectrums, so please don't feel your child is behind. He speaks like Mandarin Chinese and loves science and coding. You can turn that R, and you and your husband got this. Head up, Buttercup. Your baby will be fine. Start with reading at night. Make everything a learning moment. Cooking, let them help divide the ingredients, etc. Exactly. You got this. You got it. I have twin girls, 8 and 2. Okay. Well, did I miss the question? If I missed it, tell me again. Thank you for joining me. Use that word, but I feel so bad for her. I was crying so hard. Y'all, okay, so listen. So the comments kind of go fast. If I'm missing or I don't understand something, just repeat it for me. And an 8-month-old, and I really want to try this. Okay, so try it. Here's the thing about homeschooling. Homeschooling is not something that you can do for like what most parents do, especially when they're scared to homeschool. They're like, oh, I'm going to pull them out for this semester and we're going to do it for 3 or 4 months, maybe 6 months. And then if it's not working, I'll just put them back in the traditional school system. Homeschooling is not that. She is not that. She is not that at all. Like, not that at all. What it is 6 months down the road, you still trying to figure out what works for your family. Honest to God, like that's how it works. Like if you're thinking you're going to jump in this 6 months in, you're going to be like, I got this. Me and homeschooling, we like this. We're best friends. That's my ace boom coon. If you think that's what it's going to be, it's not. It takes a minute to figure out your fit. It takes a minute to figure out what works specifically for you and your family. Okay. And so I would say try it out. Okay. Give yourself at a minimum of a year. Okay. At the very minimum of a year. It's going to be hard work. It's going to take a minute to figure it out. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be very honest with you. It probably took us probably a year and a half before I even felt like, oh, you know what? I got this. Like me and homeschooling are best friends. It took me about a year and a half to do that because the first year I was like, I was just like y'all. And sometimes I am like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Am I doing enough? Child, let me put these kids back into school before they fall behind. You heard that word, fall behind. Like that, I was doing the exact same thing, but it's going to take you some time to figure out what works for your family. Okay. You're welcome. Yep, just do it. Yes. Wait, are you doing CC? What are you talking about? Classical what is it? Classical conversations? No, I ain't doing that. If that's what you're asking me, homeschool helper, let me know if that's what you're asking. Child, I got some feelings about them too. Yeah, do it scared. Natural says, right, you will figure it out. Take your time, just explore what, definitely ask your child what they like and start with. Yes, I just started feeling comfortable. I was all over and overwhelmed, even in an umbrella, but it's better now. I mean, listen, I'm not the only one saying it to you. It's going to take a minute for you to find your wings. And then I'm going to be honest with you too, because even when you find your wings, you'll have a day where you're like, oh, I did that today. Like I educated them kids. I'm dope. I got this. Tomorrow's going to be great. And then you get up tomorrow and it sucks. You use the same formula. You do the exact same thing. And you get up tomorrow and it sucks. You're having a miserable day. There will be days like that. Like real life. That's real life in general, right? Because we do that in real life. We get up. Oh, I woke up on time to get me some breakfast and maybe stop and get me a coffee, right? Get to work and it's an amazing day at work, right? You come home, you're good. It happens. Homeschooling is the same way. And I think that's the problem too with homeschooling is people think that you're just going to walk in and it's going to be it's going to be amaze balls. Like, to be honest with you, it's not always that. It's not always that. Okay. Let's see. Don't do that. Don't do what? Girl, stay away from. Oh, yeah, no. No, I don't fool with classical conversations conversations. I don't fool with them. In the beginning of this conversation, I talked to you about how um, I'm trying to be nice, y'all. I talked to you about how certain homeschool groups are not the most welcoming, and certain homeschool groups like to pretend, should I say? Classical Conversations is one of them. I've checked into a couple of them. I actually was a part of a speaking engagement with a particular person that was over classical conversations, and my interaction with her was so terrible um, that I will probably never endorse that program. She was a leader of one of the local cities, and she was the mother of a brown child, but brown children. She had three, um, but she was not brown. Y'all know where that went. I was sitting there going, this can't be real life. Like that's how I was sitting there like she was talking, and as she talked to me more and more, I was like, yeah, fam, we're not the same. I'm a believer, but we're not the same. We're not the same. So you will get a right rhythm. We don't work on Fridays because I wanted us to have 4-day weekends. So we do school 9:30 to 12:30, except for if we go to a park looking for bugs and birds. Yeah, we used to do back in the day when we first started, before I started having high schoolers, right? We did 4 school days a week. So we only did school Monday through Thursdays, and Fridays were our off days. When they began to do high school and there was more that was entailed, more that they needed to do, we went to 5 days, 5 school days. Okay. But you can do whatever works for you. Now, someone mentioned that their husband and them was a nurse. What I would say to you about that is that your schedule is going to look completely different than mine, right? My husband and I are entrepreneurs. I can pretty much I have almost the freedom to do whatever I want when I want to do it. So if we don't want to do school right now, then we don't have to. We can do it later on. Your situation may be completely different, right? Because you have a full schedule. I talk about the client, and I always have certain examples. If you follow me, then you know I use the same examples all the time because they're good examples. But I have a client, she's a nurse herself and works Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 7 to 7. And then she's off the rest of the week. And so the way that they do homeschooling is so she works, her beginning of her week is that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. When she comes home on Monday, they rest. She rests. She does not do any of that. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is when they do homeschooling. And then Friday, she's back up starting her week. And that works for her. Okay. And so it's not always going to look the same. And that's the thing about homeschooling. It is absolutely about finding your tailor-made fit. It is absolutely about finding that custom fit that works for you and your babies, right? It's 100% about that. Like, it's not going to always work the way that you want it to work. It's not always going to look the same. It's not always going to be the same. As I just suggested to you guys, we're on a 4-day week schedule. Now we're on a 5-day week schedule because it's what we need to do. And so it's going to take you a minute to find what works for you. But be encouraged that it can be done. And again, I keep saying the same thing over and over again. You take the meat and you throw out the bones. So take what you need, take what is nourishing to you, take what's going to build you and grow you big and strong, and throw the rest of that mess away, right? Like, don't use it. Don't use it. Let's see. Yes, I contacted several and got into response, or they were brush offish. I got the vibe. I ain't vibing. Next, exactly. You were like, ew, her energy is off. Next. Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was. And like I said, we were in this particular speaking engagement is coming up again in May. And I'm like, I think they keep sending me emails saying, hey, we'd love to have you back. And I'm just like, that was not my vibe. Like, I did not feel welcomed there. And I was the only I was the only brown homeschooler that was speaking. There was a brown homeschooler that was vending, but she was, yeah, there was a brown homeschooler that was vending, but I was the only one. I was the only one. She's trying to be nice, but I'll tell y'all, run from the classical people. Hey, what's up, girl? All right. So listen, I'm supposed to be working. I don't know how long I've been live, y'all. I haven't done any. I'm supposed to be checking email and all that stuff. Y'all continue to ask the questions. I'm going to try to get some work done in the meantime. Let's see how this works out. We'll see. But you are more than welcome to ask whatever questions you need to ask. Oh, the podcast episode is homeschooling and dual enrollment. Wow. Y'all ask whatever questions that you need to ask. What are we talking about? Change your page. I think I need to do that. Let's see what we got here. But y'all are more than welcome. It is Sean Taylor. I'm going live with you. You are more than welcome to ask whatever question that you need to ask. I am currently supposed to be working, and I am not. But you are more than welcome to ask whatever question. Y'all don't tell my husband. Shh. Don't tell him I'm not doing work. I'm not working. I did a little bit of work today. A little bit. I'm checking emails. That's actually, technically, I'm deleting emails. But it's work, right? It's classified. Let's see. Yep, deleting emails. That's good stuff, right? But you guys are more than welcome. Thank y'all so much for joining me in the middle of your day. Yeah, I'm technically working because I am deleting emails. I'm not really doing what I'm supposed to do. But you guys are more than welcome to ask whatever questions you may ask. And you know what? To be honest, I might have to jump off of here soon because I ain't did what I was supposed to do. Thanks for this. I ran my mouth, but hope what I said share help. Oh, I'm sure it did. I'm sure it did. Thank you so much. We all got this. This is our tribe right here. Bounce ideas off and get, yeah, exactly. Bounce ideas. Hey, Erica. Erica says, could you recommend a good book text to read for parents who will begin homeschooling, like Partners to Prep or Mental? What do you mean? You recommend a book or read for parents who are about to start? Okay, so listen, I can recommend a book for parents who are about to start. Okay. If you haven't purchased my book, How to Transition to Homeschooling, Amazon bestseller, that's the book. Okay, it's gonna blur it. Let me see. Put it in front of my face. There we go. Did it blur? Did it unblur? I can't see. Okay, there it goes. This is a great book, right? On my website, or you can actually type in how to transition to homeschooling.com. The digital version is available and the paperback is available as well. That is an amazing book. It has a few chapters. It says 5 things that you need to know. It talks about my story, how we began to homeschooling. So the chapters are interesting. It's kind of interesting. Okay. So it says homeschooling is not an option. Okay. So it talks about how homeschooling was never an option for me, but then it became an option, right? So then it said when homeschooling became the only option, that's the next chapter. And then the next one is starting our journey in our first day. And then deschooling is important. What is homeschooling? What homeschooling isn't? Knowing your state laws, the importance of learning and teaching styles, methods of homeschooling and scheduling, and then the conclusion. What do I do in general? So as far as being an entrepreneur, So we have a transportation business, we have a catering business, and then your girl's a homeschool coach, right? I'm helping y'all in these homeschool streets. It's up other books at the library. I read them, and if you like it, purchase it after you read it. Yeah, there are several books. Yep. Yep, there are several books, but I don't like to toot my own horn, but we gonna toot. This is a good book, Amazon bestseller. Go to that website, how to transition to homeschooling.com. You can get the PDF, not the PDF. I'm saying that's wrong. That's wrong. You can get the digital copy of it, and then you could also get you can get the paperback if you want, and then I'll sign it. But there are a bunch of books that you can read. Also, if you go on my website, which is SeanTheHomeschoolGuru.com, there are several books that I have listed as recommendations that are really good books. Go to that website and click those links and look at those. All of those books are on Amazon, and they're fairly cheap, except for I think one of them is kind of a little bit expensive. But yeah, so go on my website. There's like 6 books I think I recommended that you can use, which my website again is SeanTheHomeschoolGuru.com. You're welcome. I hope that helps. Listen, guys, I try to come live, and I know I've been doing a really poor job of coming live right now. It's a lot. Can I be honest with you? And then your girl don't always look like this. Like her hair is not always washed and done, and she don't always put on makeup, and sometimes I feel busted and disgusted, and sometimes I come live feeling busted and disgusted, and sometimes I don't feel like it. But I'm trying to do better. You guys just ask the questions. The more that you interact with me on these lives, the more that I know I need to be here. I need to be answering these questions. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Your name had me stop and watch a vid, and I was hooked after having caught all the videos. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much. All right, y'all. So listen, I have not done any work. I deleted emails. That's about it. So I'm going to take my little heated blanket right here, and I'm going to sit and do some work in the meantime. Y'all, I will try my best to come live again later this week, maybe tomorrow while my son is at practice. At soccer practice, while I'm out there being the world's best soccer mom in the parking lot. I will try to come live tomorrow and answer some more questions. So get your questions together. But thank y'all so much for joining me. I appreciate you on Instagram. I can't see your comments. I love you. I still think you're amazing. Thank you so much, Facebook. Thank you so much, YouTube and TikTok. Y'all be coming out of the woodwork, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you. He was like, who's this HS guru? Let me check. Yeah, that's me. That's your girl, right? That's your girl. All right. All right, y'all. I'm going to jump off of here. You have an absolutely wonderful day. I will try again to come live again tomorrow around 6:30. You guys have an absolutely wonderful day for the 8th time. Bye, guys.